Right, microphone on, and oh my hair, what the hell is going on there? Anyways, afternoon everybody. And as we're saying, we're starting a new chapter because we finished the gloves. But I still have to finish that one a little bit. But today was the plan on finishing that, but I had a headache yesterday, went to bed with a headache, woke up with a headache, didn't sleep well, and I got up, took painkillers, see if I could get through it, and then like at 12 I decided, nah, not gonna happen. I'd like, you know what, I'm gonna have a nap. Take painkillers, go and have a nap. An hour and a half later I woke up and I'm feeling a lot better. But that means I didn't get a lot done this morning. I've only just printed out the patterns for the chest armor that I think I'm gonna use. There will be a lot of modifications. Because it never fits from the beginning. But we'll start on the paper first and see what we can do, what we have to change, and go from there. And just go through the process of how to start on foam armor. A bit like how I did it on the calf armor. We had to do a lot of changes, and there's a hair. There we go. That's it. So yes, it's been one of those days. Sometimes that happens. Hope everybody else is not too bad. But yes. So yeah, today, what we're going to do, I printed out a pattern from Kamui Cosplay, because I have a lot of her patterns and books. Thank you, Cosplay Humble Bundle, Cosplay Humble Bumble Bundle, something in that area. Which I always, every time it comes around, even though there probably is half of the books that I have, there's always half of the books and patterns that I don't have. So I always get it. I'll get the full package, download what I don't have, and I have quite an extensive collection now of patterns, especially Kamui Cosplay, books from different cosplayers, books about sewing, book about wig making. When I want to look up something, I go there. And so one of the armors that she's done is a closed armor that's pretty close to how I want the base to be. There's probably a lot of changes I have to make because especially at the bottom hers runs differently, but again, this is one of those things. And also she only does one size. Her size. That's the way she keeps her patterns cheap, because she makes the patterns based upon her body, makes a pattern, and we have to change it accordingly. So this will not fit, but it will be a good beginning to see where I have to change, what I have to change. I'm pretty sure I need to change the boob cups, because the boob cups, of course, on the System of Battle are a bit more round, as we all know. So yeah, so we need to have a look at that sort of stuff. So. Also, this is the first pattern of hers that actually has markings about having to cut at a 45-degree angle. So, oh, it's around the boob area, just see now. Okay, the boob cup area. Okay. Now, one of the things she has on her pattern is either the attachments on the back, which for me would be a bit difficult, especially since I want to have a system on the back to put the backpack on. Or on the side. Jaya, good afternoon. How are you, my love? And I want to see if it's possible to do the front. Hey, Enric. Hey, the crowd's here. And I want to see if I can do it with a front closure. Again, this is something that I have to go through, put the pattern together, have a look at it, and see if I can do it. Because if I look at that image, it looks like there's a possibility of a zipper here in the middle. So we have to think about these things. How am I going to do it? Make it look seamless, but still workable. Because I think if I think about the fact that I want to put the So on the back, I want to put like a either 1 or 2. I don't know yet. With Wobbler. Oh no. Well, like I said, I don't know if you caught the beginning. I actually went to bed with a headache, woke up with a headache, took painkillers and didn't do anything. And then at midday, about 12, I was like, take painkillers, go to sleep. And an hour and a half I woke up and I'm actually feeling a little bit better. But as a result, this whole morning was absolutely wasted. I did absolutely nothing. So, I literally printed this out like an hour before the stream started. I was like, So today's going to be pretty chill. Nothing high stress. So probably a good time to be in the stream. we're gonna do some taping together of paperwork. No, I actually slept really terribly. I have woken up so many times. I woke up a lot of times. A lot of problems with my so I have restless leg syndrome, as they call it. So it's a problem when you get to a certain age and your hormones start changing. And so that means that especially my calf muscles continuously twitch like that. Different muscles. And it also means I get cramp a lot. And yes, I take magnesium. But it was pretty bad last... Because the problem is sometimes you have, shin splints when you get cramp in the front of your leg. The problem is I try to stretch that and then I get cramp in my calf. So I can't... it was just annoying. So I had a very restless sleep. I think my cat in the end decided to go sleep in her basket, not even on the bed anymore. She did join me on my nap. Giving me some purry healing. But I think last night she got fed up with me and just decided to go sleep in her basket. Cause she's like, fuck you and moving around. So yeah. So no, for me it was the opposite. I actually slept terribly and that's probably why. I just sometimes, I think again, it's hormone related. It's just one of those shit that happens. I got massive headaches when I was on my period all the time. I know, TMI, but still. So yeah, it's just, what can you do? So yeah, so today's going to be pretty chill. Probably it's not going to be a massively long stream either. It's until we can, because I'm not going to do any foam, and I won't be able to print out anything new. So that's the overview. That's the back. And that's the front. I only printed out half because you only need half. And then from there we can start printing out, putting everything together and then see. And this is one of the reasons I also bought this one. Well, maybe. I don't know. When I'm sleeping, I don't know. But yeah, even when I'm awake, I can literally feel the muscles in my calf sometimes just like have a little spasm, like ding, like ding. If you put your hand on my calf, you can literally feel some of the muscles twitching. There's very little you can do about it. Taking the maximum amount of magnesium I can take every day, I think. So yeah, so when I get these sewing patterns, they all come in this kind of paper form. I like Kamika patterns because she actually has these on the corners, these little circles and crosses, so you can line up the paper really, really good. Sometimes some homemade ones don't come out that way. And even here it says page 20, page 21, pages are marked up there. So I can go and try and line these up so they become a perfect circle. Grab this. Okay. Since there's no overlapping patterns on this one, I can put that one aside. That one doesn't have any overlapping ones. Not that one. That one. Oh, there's none of them. That's pretty easy. Oh, here's one. Okay. It's also very important to print out the patterns on 100% or actual size so that they're not distorted or like fit the page or anything like that. Can I get you to line? Okay. Ah, come on. Right. Now. Okay. I have to make a little pile for all the paper to put in the paper recycling because recycling here is intensive. Yeah, I know I'm definitely going to need to increase the size because Community Cosplay is tiny. And there's one thing I'm not, it's tiny. It doesn't bother me. But it is the truth. It reminds me, I probably have to lengthen it as well because I think I'm taller than her. There we go, that's the back. Okay, so this piece goes here. Yes, I need to put that there. Alright. This one goes here. Okay. So yeah, so this is kind of, when you see me use a paper pattern that's all together already, this is kind of what I do, and it always takes a long time. So you can see now, like, there's a gap here. That's because it's forming around. So it's not, like, straight. It goes around. Now, it's hard to replicate when you're using paper, but I mean, on her Kamui cosplay shows on her YouTube how you can make it yourself, but it's really hard to wrap yourself in cellophane and duct tape without a second pair of hands. So right, so that one goes there, that one goes here. This is 11. You go here. So this one has a 45-degree indicator. So that means that it needs to be cut on a 45-degree angle. And this is the same thing I had to do with like the glove pattern, where when I made it, it needed to be slightly a bit bigger. So I had to just print it out like 106%. That kind of worked. Doesn't always work because proportions. But oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, there's a video on my YouTube channel where I'm doing this with my mom. I was trying to do this with like to create a mannequin of my size, so it would be easier to try things on a mannequin. And after I took it all off, I realized there must have been some mistake somewhere, because some areas were like one arm was bigger than the other. It's like, I'm pretty sure my arms may not be the same, because as everybody, your body is not symmetrical, but there was too much of a difference. I was like, yeah, I can't use this. And that is where I wrapped myself in cellophane and then used duct tape to try and make a straight back, make a straight front, go around all the curves. And it's like, yeah, it's difficult. You need someone that actually understands as well. You have to put the same tension on. And this one goes there. You can kind of see. Can you? Is it a bit dark? On my tablet, it looks a bit dark, but maybe it's my tablet. So. Right. Yeah, but I want to make it as well, so it's something I can put on without a helper, and so that is one of the reasons why I really want to be able to sort it out so that I can have a front zipper, so I can put it on like a jacket, zip it up, so literally put the backpack on, because I want to have like either 2 vertical, 2 horizontal, just one. I need to think out about the size for the backpack, because I've seen a lot of cosplays and then the backpack looks tiny and I'm like, it's supposed to be bigger in my opinion. You know, something needs to be bigger in that. And since I want to put a battery in there, because I'm thinking, because it's going to be warm, so I'm thinking of putting like a little fan on both sides, because you've got that neck piece. I'm thinking of putting a little fan in the side. And I want to have like a little like light that goes from the, like indicates that it's on. So it's gonna have to like a little battery and stuff like that. So it needs to be sturdy enough. But and then just have magnets and then just be able to put it on the back, on the chest armor, and then put the chest armor on like a jacket, like put it on a chair and then just put it on and zip it up and then put my shoulder and neck piece on. So that's the plan. And like everything, plans are never solid. I have it didn't go viral, but one of my videos has a higher click rate because there were lots of comments on it. But that was because one guy commented on, "Oh, you're going to get what did he say? You're going to get copyright strike by Games Workshop on your videos." And I said, "Nah, well." And he's like, "Well, other cosplayers have," and they mentioned Galactic Armory, and I'm like, Galactic Armory are not cosplayers. They're a business that are selling helmets and patterns for helmets, and they're using the Games Workshop name Warhammer40k to sell their products. That's not allowed. I'm not selling anything. I'm creating an armor. So my YouTube channel's not monetized. The only monetized thing is my Twitch. But if they want to, if they're bothered about the $150 a year I make on my Twitch, I don't think so. They're not going after me. They were going after Galactic Armory because they were actually actively selling patterns to make helmets and stuff like that. So now they're concentrating on Trans Crusade because Trans Crusade allows them to do that. So that's Trans Crusade's decision. But you can't use trademarked, copyrighted, trademarked or copyrighted works and make money out of it. I'm just a hobbyist. So yeah, that's the only reason, is because there were more comments on that one that it attracted more attention. I don't know where I've put those booby cubs. I should actually get them out, shouldn't I? But I don't think I'm going to get a thumbnail like I did before, but yeah. Besides, if I do it again, it wouldn't be as much fun as when it happened by accident, because it happened that way, and I just thought that's funny. Never expected it to go fucking viral like that. And then again, it didn't go super viral. I had over 1,000 views on that, which, you know, if you get my average view is like what, 5 to 10. My artillery which videos get a little more. They get like 20 to 40. But nobody's sitting through 3 hours of me chatting to you guys, except maybe view. But there you go. There. Can I have a look? See if I can see. If I know that I can't remember where the fuck I put them. I don't know where I've put them. I'll have to look for them. We'll do that next week. But it would be handy to form. That's the reason I bought them, is to have them here so that when I'm putting the foam on, I can heat it up and then form the foam over the roundness. Because I don't think that's gonna cover me. I mean, I have 70 something subscribers on YouTube. I mean, still I don't understand how, but yeah. I'm still proud I have over 200 followers here. I don't get 200 viewers, but you know. So E4 and yeah, that's that's never gonna cover me. How is this supposed to? Okay. Now, of course, putting paper together is different when you put foam together, but to give you a bit of an idea. This is going to look ridiculous. Now, let me actually put on the... Is it called closed armor? Oh, she's writing it in the American way. Ha! So that's the wrong one. Does it show it? No? Yeah. plus. Oh, no, never mind. It's this one. There we go. Now you can see it. So this is the oh, so okay, that makes sense. More sense now. So there's a part here that needs to go on as well. Because I was like, that's tiny. I mean, how's that? That's not going to cover anything. So this part is part of the breast cup. Okay, okay. So this is E2, E2. Okay. So this goes that way. Okay, let's try that. That makes more sense. I was like, that looks tiny. And I know she's not big, but alright. You go there. Okay, okay, that's working out. Okay. Okay, okay. So, assume, is this the right side then? Yes, that side. So, yes, it needs to be a little bit bigger. Just a tad, I think. Let's put it all together, and then we can properly see. So yeah. I might have to make it, because on that, this is one of the reasons I like this image as well, because it is not as freaking half a football form as most images for Sisters of Battle. It looks a lot. I need to make a close up for that chest armor so I could show you, but right, so okay. Oh, nope. Okay. Okay, trying. This is the problem because it's paper, it's not foam, so. Foam can be a bit more easier manipulated than. Well, let's get the scissors. Right, so yeah, it definitely needs a little bit bigger because yeah, I'm that alone is not going to reach my shoulder. Right, okay. So E5 goes there and E6 goes there. Okay. I'll actually put them first together and then put them as one. Okay, I think that's better. See, this is why this is... It feels like it's been printed out smaller. It's so weird. Okay. 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 Alright, and then you go underneath here at an angle, so you need to go that way, so it's going straight. I have no idea, to be honest. I haven't read up on it yet, because I haven't had any. Have I had any messages about it? Let me check. I haven't had any messages about it yet, so no. Normally I get a message about it. Ah, which one have I? Here. So yeah, I have no idea what they're planning on doing. No, it's usually they do now something about as well about like gifting subs gives discounts. But I'm trying to keep up with it sometimes, and I'm like, you know, if I was a big streamer that this was my income from it, then maybe I would pay more attention to it. But at the moment, I'm just happy with the people that are here, and yeah. I mean, it can be, you know, if you're a small streamer, it can be. I mean, this is why when I started and I stopped for a bit because I was getting really demotivated to streaming because there was just nobody there. But yeah. Right, yeah, I don't think, yeah, that's usually the way they do it. It's like you can only get discounts if you're not subscribed. So because they want it for people that have never subscribed. Yeah, there's usually something like that on there. I don't know if it's my printer sometimes just not printing out the right... Oh, maybe I need to put it on this... Oh, maybe if that's the point. So it's not there, but it's... can I take you off again? It's on this line. That might make sense. Ah. can I get you to go away from there and go on there and then put you there? That works better. Okay, excellent. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what they're doing usually. It's like, if you're not subscribed yet. But I think it does work for gifted subs as well. Okay, that's not too bad, but yeah. Okay. Okay, and you go underneath here. Alright. Right. Feels a bit weird. But it's probably because it's paper, so this should come out a little bit. Okay. Yep, probably. Okay. Right. Let's put you... there. Ugh. Oh, and I potentially have found a way to VR stream Battle Sisters, but I have to test it out and see if it works. It would mean this PC would do the streaming and my gaming PC would do the playing, but I have to try out the software that I saw that they were recommending, so we will see. Yeah. Okay, okay, getting there. Missing something? Yes, this goes here. Okay. Ooh. Come on. Okay. About there, and then you go. Oh, come on. Do about there. That's alright. And then you go about there. Right. Now, this is supposed to. I definitely don't think that's going to fit, but let's have a look. So, yeah, but it's definitely too small. Especially the armhole, so let's take that apart again. I had a feeling it's gonna be. So if you think is this the waistline? I think this is supposed to be the waistline. Well, my waist is about there. So yeah, I mean the cup position is reasonably in place, but I have a bit longer torso. So this is supposed to be yeah, a bit more there. And on the side, you can see this is the middle seam here. That's supposed to be where my middle seam is, and that's about there. So, okay. Now sorry. Yeah, Negatron. I probably accidentally knocked against my microphone turning off. Yes, there we go, dear. DR knows the commands. Let's move it a little bit further back so I don't knock it. Here we go. So, yeah, so this is how tiny Kamui Cosplay is. From Kamui from Svetlana from Kamui Cosplay is. But yeah, if you compare it to, you know, this is the waist seam. My torso is a bit longer. So in general, everything needs to be sized up. It didn't say, because let me measure. I always have to alter, and I have so many of her patterns, so it's always a nice base to start on. But she bases her patterns, of course, on her own size, so that there's only one size in the pattern. And I don't mind that, because, you know, I just have to alter them. But since she's a lot tinier than I am. So this is 36, that's the waistline. My waistline, 36 centimeters. $84. Hang on. Yeah. So that's. And I have to actually measure with my clothes on, shouldn't I? Oh, god damn it. So 72. So I have to add at least 12 centimeters to just the waistline. So actually 6, because that's half. Because that's 42. Yeah, 6. To the half. Well, adding 6 to 36, so percentage-wise, that's brain. 30 is 5, so that's 6. 6%? No, it can't be. Math. Why does this always include math? Everybody's like, oh, I'm never going to use math. If you want to be a cosplayer, you got to be able to math. %. Well, 16.66666. See if I get this right. Oh no. Yeah. Right, so let's try something, see if that would work out. So let me get my calculator on the computer. So measure the front. Oh, let me switch over. That would help. So, squash the booby cup. So, So that's 45 centimeters. So 45 plus 16.6% is 52.5. Would that make sense? No, that makes too long. Unless she means it to be that long. Let me check. No. Okay. So this is not going to go the way I want it to go. Is this center-wise? How does this work center-wise? It's supposed to be sitting in the center. So does this, the center part is actually fine. Yeah. It's just this is nowhere near. So, okay. We'll just have to manually adjust everything, I think. So, is that wide enough for my shoulder? I might have to make it a little bit wider because I'm going to have the shoulder to sit on it. So we can keep this distance. This distance is fine. So I can't. This is the problem. I can't unilaterally. It's the same as like, so when I created patterns for the clothing company that I ran, this was all lycra clothing. However, I would make a size 10 because my mannequin was a size 10, UK size 10, US size 8. Calculate the rest if you want. But my range, my size range for the clothing range was UK 6 to UK 24. So I went from small, like extra small, to plus size. Because this was the range of my teammates, because I used to play roller derby. Now, when you create a pattern, say shorts, top, anything, I then have to grade the pattern. That's what they call it, grading. Grading the pattern to a different size. Now, when you have a pattern, say a pair of shorts, that's terrible drawing. So if you have like a pair of shorts like this is one of my standard shorts that I had. If I wanted to go a size up or down, you can't just reduce a percentage. So I'm talking here about upping or downing percentage, because I know the waist is one of the measurements I took, and I know my waist size and the size of the pattern, so I know I have to go up. However, when somebody is bigger, they're not always taller. So when you grade usually a certain percentage outwards, so to the side, and a smaller amount to the top and the bottom. And those percentages are different per size. So from size 8, UK 8 to UK 14, you use the same steps up and down. So the same amount of percentage up, same amount of percentage sideways. So I usually did it in centimeters because that's... And I worked with Lycra. Lycra is stretchy and it's pretty forgiving. So my size ranges were like, these people fit in this size. Now, if I went to a size 6, I had to change the percentages because the percentage going in on the side were more than the percentage going up or down, because 9-10 times they're the same height as most people in the size UK 8, it just got smaller. So I had to keep like the leg size the same and the waistband size the same, but I just had to go in a little bit more. Now when you go into plus sizes, so if you go to UK 16 and above, the sizing changes because of the way they look at sizes. And this is why I didn't do extra small, medium, large, extra large, because I wanted to have more options for people. My mistake as well, because as a business that wasn't a smart thing to do, because it meant I had more work. So when you're going up, so above 16, so from 14 to 16 and up, there is a slightly larger amount that you're going sideways, but up and down we're still similar in size, because you still have to think about if somebody is not just bigger around. Sometimes, you know, I've got hips, so somebody that's a size 8 has less hips than somebody who's got a size 16. So you have to also accommodate for the fact that you have to, it's round, it's not a flat surface, so you have to go up in like length as well, just to make sure you get it, you know, you can imagine what it was. So sizing, especially in patterns, can be pretty complicated, and that's why when I looked at this, I was just like, can I grade this in one size? So that's why I took another measurement. So I took my waist measurement, measured how much I had to increase it, and then measured the other one. So I measured this front seam here and measured that on my body, and the sizing is different, which I figured that probably would be. So I can't do a increase everything with 16%. So now I have to manually adjust all these patterns to probably be wider, slightly, well, this needs to be absolutely longer, but lengthwise this is fine, because my torso doesn't, my torso is the same as someone who's probably the same height as me. I think Kamui Cosplay is my height. So she's just a size 10 and I'm a size 14, 16. So I need to grade, well, for my shoulders, because I am broader than most people, and I have to go wider because I'm bigger. So this is going to be complicated. But not to mention the fact, of course, I have a larger cup size than her. So that definitely has to change as well. So this literally has to be one piece by piece to go and figure this out. So let's cut the middle seam off, because I know I need to go to the middle of my own body. Because there's standard things that you need to measure, and one of them is your so you kind of have like your center seam, center front, center back, side seam, the one on the arm. So those are the ones you keep standard. And I'm sorry if I'm boring people to death, but it's important to explain. Obey the beard. How about no? Right, so So that's the back piece. So let's start on the front piece. Now, one of the things we know as well is that this booby cup is absolutely too small. So let's take that off as well. And start with getting everything around it to work. Right, so oh yes, I mean, think about Red Sonja. I mean, I collect some. I used to collect. I don't really do anymore, but I collected her comics because I had I for a long time I had red hair. So for me, Red Sonja, any red-headed superheroes. I mean, a chainmail bikini. I mean, so yes. Right. This is one of the things I think is like when I say it's like when you have bikini armor and it's got a really high armor rating, men should be able to wear it. Male characters should be able to wear it. Right, so do I have large enough pieces to go and make a bit of a... So, as this is the waist, it might need to be a bit higher. Where does it sit? Here. Yeah, it might need to go to here. So, let me see how it's on her. Oh, it is a lot higher. So it's here that she's got it on her. Let me stand up. God damn it. So she's got it like up here. Yeah, so then it needs to be a little bit longer. But this needs to be lower for me anyway. So let's start working on that. So let's tape this. So I'm thinking if I leave the waist seam to be where my waist is, I need to indicate where my waist is. I should really wear the freaking waist cincher that I'll be wearing. So, can you see in the camera? So there's like putting a string where my waist is. So it gives you a good indicator to keep it the same. So when you make patterns from yourself, that's kind of what you do. Right. So this needs to go on that line. So I need to here. Because I'm using my camera as a mirror, so here, and then my shoulder is actually where this ends. I need it to be at least till there. Okay. So I need the linear. And about there, I think. I'll have to figure out how to do that one. Right. Rough draft, we call this. Okay. Somewhere around there. Alright, so yeah, that's the new piece. Now there needs to be a bit of more distance. Between that and that. So take that off and put a piece here. Again. Where is that? That's about there. So we're slowly getting there. Yeah. Let's. Alright, so it's hard as well because you'd want to look down, but you can't. No, no. Go on my shoulder there, where you're supposed to be. Go, thank you. Can I tape you to myself for a second? You can stand upright, because when you're bending over, you're changing your shape again. Use my seam on my t-shirt. Yeah, that's about right. It's getting a bit long now here, but that's alright. We can always make it shorter. Okay, needs to be shorter. Give me a sec. That's about right. Okay. Now we need to make this seam go to the side of me. Which is this middle to about there. There. 21. And this is 19. So 3 centimeters. Well, actually, that's right. 6 centimeters in total, 3 centimeters on each side. So okay. Now question, is this need to be longer or not? No, that actually feels right. 3 centimeters. I need a piece that I can use. That's Oops. And I need another piece of straight. That's just too short. That's too thin. That's white. That works. Okay. Not sure if this is going to work, but we're going to try. Okay. And at the other side, over there. I got another trailer. Guess where you went, Spammer? You went into the pen room. There's no use banning them because they're just bots. There's no real people there. Right. Let's see if that fits. Put that on the seam. Does that mate? Yeah, that's actually perfect. Now, yeah, that works. Okay. Okay. Now, look at the difference. God, there's so much mess on my desk. Original, the rest. Oh well. Right. Don't worry. I'm not going to worry about the boob cup just yet because that's another problem. So now I know that these fit. Now, you can immediately see that's the length where the back is, and that's where. So we have to add a little bit. So that will fit together. So, God, I don't know how to do this yet. How am I going to do this? Besides, also, don't forget, your back and your front are different sized. Because your back goes up higher than the here. But I know there's at least what I have to add is to make sure that it's the same size as the front. So it's 52. That doesn't look right. Hmm. $39. Yeah, because that's only the front, so oh, okay, because we're missing the BB cup type area. Yes, okay. Yeah, no, that's yeah. So this goes. So this is closed here. Now I know for certain that I might have to need 3 centimeters here, but I'm not sure about here. And this is where I really need someone else to hold this to my back so I can actually look at it. I just noticed that. Okay. Did that delete it? It was deleted, but it still showed on my screen, I just noticed. Oh well. So, how am I gonna figure this out. No. No. I don't have anybody nearby. What I'm thinking of doing is grabbing... idea. This was the shirt that I made. I'm pretty sure I can compare a little bit. It's not going to be perfectly similar, but let me compare the front. It's close. Okay. So maybe so that's where that's going to sit. It's not that far off compared to the front. So maybe the 3 centimeters did make sense. Ooh. Yeah. That much. Okay. Oops. Right. to see a picture of her. This other than the back. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's add the 3 centimeters. So we added the total of 6 centimeters to this pattern. Two. Okay. All right. And add 3 centimeters here. Should make a markers on the half because I need to make, okay. So I have to cut in the middle to actually make a new seam as well. Yoink. Come on. Oh, so many pieces of paper. Now, the question is, because that made it longer. There's not a problem on a straight line, but it is a problem on a curve. So this needs to change. So that will automatically then lengthen the shoulder. That should work. Because Son of Psycho 6 song, because it starts silly. So the question is, where do I lengthen this? Anyways, vibing with the song. I actually think, let's cut this here. No, that doesn't make sense because that needs to. Okay, so because this needs to still be straight on my back, so when I make the changes, if it gets too distorted, I need to change that. I have a feeling I should leave this. This it's only 2.5, but I feel like if I'm pushing it too far, it distorts too much. So let's add a bit of piece here. Just get it, make sure this is kind of straight. I need to add 3 centimeters, I said, so there. If this goes right in one go, I'll be fucking surprised. Because how wide is this part? Six. Okay, this is becoming a hustle. Damn it, should have made a marking there. No, I have broad shoulders, but it doesn't feel like I'm that broad. I have a feeling that this needs to go in. Like there. Okay, let's do that and then see if I can figure out I'm going to add here. No, because it's not flat. It actually is curved because your back is curved. So it does need to go out. Damn it. Ah, I hate those Facebook memories. Sometimes it comes up with shit like, I really don't want to remember that. Slowly getting there, but well, true. I know that's what you said, that you use social media as like a diary because it helps. It reminds me sometimes of bad relationship decisions. Why is this not working? Yep. Ugh. This is kind of what I think it should be. It's just that here, I know from sewing, to make something wider, you don't necessarily make this wider. So it does go back in. Let's try all these pieces of paper. Put this and that together and see if I can actually have something decent. Okay. Right. Yep, that goes there. Does this fit in the middle? Yes, but that's right, because that connects from there to there. Is that in the middle of my back though? No, it's not. But, hang on a second. I'll be right back, because I know I've got a mirror on the outside. No. So, from what I can see, front is pretty lined up. So I can see that easily. There's a little bit here that I could do. It's very close to the middle, but this needs to be extended. So in principle, this is the same width, and I need to widen it. Other than that, it lines up pretty well. that. Do the same what I did with the front, see if we can do that with the back. Just need to make sure that this is in the middle. Just tape that to my shirt. Don't move. Where's my... Oh, that's actually on the spot. A little bit more, actually. That's the middle. There. Okay. Hopefully my nail indent worked. Yes. So that's where it needs to be. Okay. Question is, did it go all right all the way on the back bottom? Actually, thinking about what needs to go underneath, needs to be a bit wider, so because I have to wear, I've got the habit underneath. I should redo this when and wear everything I need to wear. Then see how it goes. So everything needs to add some. Oh, this is going to be a fucking pain to do. Okay. Right. Let me check that in a minute. I'll be right back. It's getting there, but it's still hard to see whereabouts I need to be with everything. So, and also I should actually wear what I need to wear underneath, because that is a lot bulkier than the t-shirt I've got on at the moment. So I need to redesign this. And then wear everything I want to wear underneath and see how far I'm going to get. So I might need to large it again. I mean, it's getting there. It absolutely is getting there. But I have no idea how I'm going to have to try it all. I wonder if I should print it out like 110%. So there's less messing around, less adding of stuff. So potentially less distortion. But at least I have a partial pattern that is getting there in what it needs to be. Because, you know, she makes these patterns based upon being close to her body, but I'm going to be wearing it over a, you know, the dress and the belts that I wear, and the habit is a kimono style stuff, so it's got quite large sleeves, quite large openings, so it needs to be able to go around there without any issues. So I might have to still change the arm size. So, okay, so I can't do much else because although I've done a lot of, I've got a good idea of what needs to be done based upon what I've done with this, because this is a good base pattern, because this is the waistline here is where it goes out slightly, so if you know, but in that pattern, what she's wearing, it looks quite straight. So I think I need to change this as well to have straight panels here instead of having the flared panels. They might be slightly flared, but not as, I don't think they look as flared as this one. And that means less seams, means less problems. Yeah, so that's one of the things I need to think about. So especially the front one here. I think that needs to be one panel for this one. Because this one goes slightly in out. The side ones can be slightly flared, but it looks like it's a lot flared. I think I am going, and this was something I was planning on doing before our streams, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to because I had such a headache. I'm going to have a look at how other Sisters of Battle streamers have created this, because I know they changed. It's not a 3-point booby cup. They do literally a semi-circle, which is usually two, just two areas. Again, less seams, less sanding, less filling, and all that sort of malarkey. So and also this is quite fitted because this has this seam here, and I wonder if I can get away with just having a straight single piece back, because it's not fitted armor. Well, it's kind of fitted, but not like close to the body. It's on top of clothing. A, that would make it a lot easier. B, it'd make it easier as well for strength. Okay, so that's my plan for next week. So need to think about how, because these have a lot of pieces, and I think I need to redesign it to have a singular piece, especially in the front if I want to put a zipper in the front. So I think I need to look into that. And I need to take a picture up close from the chest armor so that I can have it close up here so you can see actually what I'm working on. So I've got some homework for me to go through for next week. So yes, it's a slightly shorter stream than normal. Hope you guys don't mind. I did say it's going to be pretty chill today. I'm just collecting all the paper that needs to go into the paper bin. So yeah, so you can see here on this overview how many pieces there are, and I think I need to reduce that. And I definitely probably need to have a wider front if I want to put a zipper in, because that's a weak spot. If that's very not a lot of foam, if I make it out of 5mm foam, although I could strengthen it with Warbler on the inside. Just like I did with the handle for this. But yeah, I think I need to look at this as all these as one piece, and potentially make this all just two big pieces, because it doesn't need to be fitting that closely onto my body, because there's going to be some clothing underneath. So I've got some things to think about and maybe draw out for next week. So yeah. So at least we got a little bit further. Right. Right, I've made my mind up. I'm not gonna raid anybody. I just want to chill because I am just tired, and it's just been one of those days today. At least I've got my brain around what I'm going to do with the armor. What we know now. I know now what doesn't work. I know now what I think I want to do. I have a bit of more of an idea of size, but I need to put on the habit, and especially for the arm scythe, because the habit has those kimono sleeves, to make sure it goes underneath and it's not going to hamper my movement. So I need to draw out some more ideas and then have an idea of how I'm going to change that. So, right, well, okay, that's the plan for next week. So next week, I hopefully have done my homework. Can't promise. And I'm gonna look at if I can reduce the amount of pieces on this armor, because I don't. It's too many pieces, and I don't think I need this many pieces. It doesn't need to be as fitted on my body as if it's like armor for some other character. This is armor that's going on top, over top, and also because the artillery witch has a chest armor as well. It doesn't have a booby area like this, but if I have a good base pattern, I can make a good base pattern for the artillery witch as well. Since next Sunday, or it's Wednesday, sorry, the next Wednesday that I'm streaming, we'll be continuing with the shirts, because the shirt is done, then it is I can start. But I'm gonna do the skirt next, but then we can look into, you know, the armor as well. The armor is slightly different shape, but it has the same base shape, same, you know, back front piece, and just the chest area is slightly different. But if I then have this one as a base, then I can work from that, the one that fits, so I don't have to do all this calculating and trying on and testing. So that's the plan. So okay, so Wednesday I'll be back and we'll be doing some more work on the artillery witch shirt. So I'll be make sure that I have done the ruffling of the arm things that are there, so we can start on actually putting the patterns down for the soutache braiding and do all the fucking seams, which is a fucking nightmare, but you know, one of those needs to be done. And next week we'll continue working on this planning of the armor pattern, and just see if I can figure out how I can do less seams, and make sure I've done some measurements with the clothing that's going underneath, so we can continue on that and start thinking about, once we have a fitting pattern, and do the base pattern. So yes, so that's what we're going to do. So I hope everybody didn't get too bored. It's been one of those days. So I will see you all either on Wednesday or next week on the Saturday. And everybody have a good weekend. Have a good evening. Make sure you stay safe. I have things planned for Sunday because I've got lots and lots of things to do. So I will see you all next time.